have to look out. Vegas has been really hot on the day on Pocket. And actually, it looks like that's a Pocket ban coming out right there from... Actually, don't know who's on Amber side. I'm going to assume that that's Llama Lords, though. But Yamato and Pocket getting taken off the table here.
It is hard to tell. Okay, so we are getting confirmation.
Okay.
Hydra Nation is Amber, which makes sense. The Pocket, you've got Eudorian on the opposite side. Pocket is just Eudorian Pocket. Let's get rid of it. Yamato was actually, I think, a little oopsie that Llama Lords made in their Game 3 against Hydra Nation previously, where they let it go through, and then Lefa just showed us why, you know, Yamato is incredibly strong. But as we jump into our picks, Kelvin, a no-brainer, but it's Mirage and Viscous scooped up on the opposite side.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be a Quig Kelvin there. We saw it earlier in the day as well. And there's the Paradox pickup there for Flick, as well as Hydration on the Warden once again. Keeping it pretty similar to what they've been going all day. It's been... they've had great success with it. There's no reason to really change it up. Meanwhile, the Dynamo coming out for the side of Llama Lords as kind of their second support here. There's the Abrams from Hydration as well. Looking for that big engage, aggressive team comp, it seems. And the Infernus to match it, and that's going to be the carry for Llama Lords there. The Wraith as well. No big surprises so far. I mean, this is pretty much what we've been seeing all day. I think we're just really looking for one more support pick. The Ivy's still on the table, and that's the one thing I think that hasn't gone picked yet that we've seen quite a lot.
Yeah,
the Vindicta.
So I guess I'm a little, Infernus priority over the Wraith. That feels a little strange to me, but Llama Lords, they got that in the bag. They lock in that
Currently
last...
in the solo lane against the Paradox, but I imagine we'll see some switching. In fact, we do. The Paradox going over to the duo there with Lefa, leaving the Abrams and the Wraith to be solo laners here against Infernus and Mo. We get to see the Lash Viscous over on the side of Llama Lords against that Warden Kelvin. That's going to be a lane for sure. Versus the Dynamo and the Mirage against Flick and Lefa. That's going to be scary. I think Flick and Lefa, they're going to be looking to make some pretty aggressive plays and get some picks in this lane.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw it right off the rip. Flick getting right into lane, hitting the kinetic carbine, and looking to get some early damage. Kind of making a statement right early in the lane saying, hey, we're going to try and keep this pressure on as we see Lord being pressured. I'm going to back all the way up. Frost Grenade lands right at their feet, and Quig and Hydration just going to keep this pressure on. This is not a very feels good lane compared to what we've seen previously with Lash in some of these lanes. And we'll have to see if Dorian can maybe sneak out of this one and start to make plays elsewhere. I mean, first purchase healing right. It doesn't feel awful, but it definitely doesn't always feel great.
Yeah, this is a really nasty lane, the Kelvin and Warden. There's so much just shutdown potential. I mentioned before, Kelvin is just very good into Lash, especially once you get the ultimate. You just shut down Lash basically entirely. And with all the poke they're able to throw out, they have the claw machine. They're going to be able to burn a lot of stamina just by forcing people to get out of that binding word. And they're just kind of, once the stamina's gone, like you can't dodge the alchemical flask and the grenade anymore. So you just get so much just like random poke damage out of this, and especially early on, like you're seeing right there, they're just poking him in the shop, and that's a quick kill on the Lord there.
That's heartbreaking. I mean, it's exactly what you mentioned. It's a 8-second cooldown on the flask. It's 3 charges now of the frost grenade, so those are just, teeter-tottered back and forth for eventually a kill onto Lords that Viscous not able to stay alive once more, which is the most survivable hero when it comes down to it. It feels like once you have that Q, but too much pressure on Greenwich is actually leading to a little bit of pressure over towards York. It looks like Quig wants to try and make a play onto Young Calc, but Young Calc sniffs that one out, and that Moan Crow backs away underneath the Guardian.
Yeah, nice conservative playing there. We don't, especially when you're against Hydra Nation like this, you do not want to get in a position where you're going to get picked off early. If you're going to get picked off, you got to at least make them work for it, right? So it's good we see some good map awareness there, some good communication when the laner goes missing. Looks like this Lash trying to get around, maybe do something on this Warden, but unlikely. The game kind of stalling a bit to a little bit of a farm fest right now, as no one able to find a huge opportunity, though. I imagine that's going to be changing somewhat quickly once other abilities start coming online here. We do have the Mirage and the Vindicta over here in the mid, over in the temple. And just rotating around, but a two-man gank actually coming in onto Lord to end this Lash. They're running back to the tower right now. And looks like they'll be safe for the moment.
They give up a lot in their lane, however, so it's been completely pushed under, but because of that, Vegas is actually going to rotate over and try and punish this overstep from our Dynamo and our Mirage, that being Sizz, Lucky, and Pure Content. And, well, on the opposite side, that same play from previously, Quig looking to get pressure onto Young Calc. It does finally find a bit of fruit, but Young Calc able to play safe. Still needs to worry about two in his lane as a second comes on over. Lord going to look to answer to this one. Low is DMB, but he's able to use that Project Mind, excuse me, to sneak on out. It's a very healthy Viscous. It's a low HP Quig and DMB, but they just aren't quick enough to make a play.
And sneaking out of there. It will be pretty good. We do see Sizz Lucky coming back to that solo lane here, where Vegas is putting a little bit of pressure, just keeping them under the tower, giving that Infernus some room to farm. We have a Binding Word coming here onto Young Calc. We'll be able to get out of it there. They go for the point blank assassination. Hydration pops the last stand, but the Death Slam coming in. Throws him under the tower, but it's still going. It does not interrupt channeled abilities. And that's Young Calc getting gunned down here, as Leffa looking to get a finish onto this Lash. Dorian will be falling. Now it's just the Dynamo is going to go for the singularity. Says Lucky's there to capitalize, and they will get a trade onto Leffa there. As Llama Lords, well, they keep it pretty even in the face of all of that.
Ooh, I mean, that hurt. Seconds ago, Lord felt comfortable fighting DMB. Now DMB, after walking away with that kill participation on Young Calc earlier, DMB's pretty strong. Leffa also working their way out of the base on that respawn. Coming back with a couple of items means just as strong, as they've got that burst. And that assassination does its job. We'll find the kill onto Lord. And although still a very close game, any time that Llama Lords have had something going their way, Hydra Nation have found a way to get something back.
And looks like Vegas coming in now as well. Very aggressive 4v2, but Sizz Lucky and Pure Content will be able to make it out of that one. Regroup with Lord as well. Some pressure coming out on this tower here from Quig and DMB. Young Calc here to respond. The Lash here as well. The telekinesis looking for the lift up. Quig gets the dome. The combo comes out though. But this is Young Calc taking so much damage. Trying to go for the unburrow here. Is at 1 health. A nice scorn to stay alive a bit longer. DMB's hurt but has the card. And Young Calc gonna be gunned down here. It's just a Dorian. Still in the 2v1 though. Trying to make an escape here. Blowing for a bit of damage, but the Ice Beam just does so much, and the slow is so rough. Trying to get a kill on DMB, but it's not enough. 2 for nothing there in favor of Hydra Nation. And I'll probably get that Guardian as well.
Yeah, they just might get that Guardian. Fortunately, Llama Lords did get something on the opposite end, right? They've got a Guardian for themselves, and Leffa finds another this on to Pure Content, and the lead stays the same, but overall kind of just taking stock of what just went down. It's a little too telegraphed from the Mo and Krill, right? There's 2 people in your lane and you're running at us. Surely you want to combo us because somebody's ganking, and that's exactly what happened to Dorian without his ultimate. Now has it this time around, however, but Project Mind will get DMB out to safety. Quig is obviously here to support as well, and this solo lane has quickly become a 3v2, making a 3v3 as Hydration is sneaking just around the corner.
Yeah, and still just looking for this pressure here. The Guardian pretty healthy, but Hydration coming in. The telekinesis going to lift him up. Looking to get out of there, but Dorian will be going down. Hydration still looking for more onto this Mo and Krill. DMB right there to back him up will find the kill onto Pure Content. Hydration getting cut down, actually. by the Mo and Krill over on that other side. Now looking for a kill on DMB as well. Is very low. Doesn't have the project to bind, but the Kelvin Dome, the snow globe, will come out from Quig to buy enough time. DMB to recover, retreat, now burrowing away. Young Calc looking to make the great escape there. Some good recovery from Hydration there, but I mean, a really good, honestly, a good fight from Llama Lords. They got something out of that and really kept Hydra Nation on their toes.
Yeah, they do go, I believe it was 2 for 1 in that lane with both pure content and Eidorian dying. Young Calc had the combo, but just couldn't get in range, and DMB was so low before that frozen shelter. So that was a little heartbreaking. But like you mentioned, right, although the fight goes the way of Hydra Nation, Llama Lords, they pick up an objective across the map. Both of their mid turrets on the side of Hydra Nation, or Guardians, are down, right? So now they have to be a little more careful as they push out towards these bridges, towards these mid lanes on Greenwich and Broadway. Lord needs to be a little careful. Maybe Young Cal can punch him in the right direction. He is going to get lifted by that telekinesis. So zero gravity goo is Burrow. Gonna maybe keep everybody at bay now that Sizlucky's made his way on over too. That will force DMB and Quig to play a little bit safer in what has quickly become a 3v2 lane. That's a slowing Hexa on though. Scarabs are out. DMB low HP but does not fall just yet. Getting deep into friendly territory to try and survive, and I think that's a decay on that unfortunately just is not doing enough, but it means another objective for Llama Lord.
Yeah, and Llama Lords now, this is one more tower, and they're looking for they just got that one more tower that did just unlock their flex slot, so they're very ahead in that department. Hydration, or Hydra Nation, I keep calling them that, my bad. Hydra Nation, yeah, it's confusing when someone on there is named Hydration, right? You know, talking about a lot about that, but yeah, they are just to pick up their second tower there, so they still need to get that that one York side before they're able to have access to those flex slots, and they are up in money and souls, but they do need somewhere to spend that.
Yeah, very true. Needing one more Guardian to try and get that flex spot opened to maybe open up the builds a little bit. We are on our first urns. That means it is going to remain neutral as it would in this game. And we'll see if there's much of a response, right? Urn is going from right side of the map to left side of the map, and we're seeing the majority of Llama Lords work towards the right side Broadway Park lanes, and not putting too much into what seems like a free urn here for Hydra Nation.
And not really going to be much to contest there. You got Quig over here as well. We do see Young Cow coming in. The Singularity is able to pick up one, it looks like, but it's not going to be enough. Young Cow getting sent down. Pure Content trying to get out of there, but it's going to get gunned down as well here by Hydration. Bit of a massacre on that Park side for Llama Lords. They are pushing some walkers here, but Quig quick to respond. Gunning him down with the Ice Beam here. We'll be able to make it out of there. That DOT does quite a lot of damage, but some more money once again for Hydra Nation. I mean, they're not going to be complaining about that. Still chasing down Infernus. Hydration coming in with the shoulder rush. Doesn't quite connect. Rocade now going for the combustion, looking for the stun. Goes on with a quick frozen shelter from Quig. Hydration goes down regardless, though. Almost saved them, but the team fight breaking out now. Young Calc looking to chase this down. Hydration making it back to the stairs here. And Leffa flying around, looking for a pick possibly, but everyone on Llama Lords is still pretty healthy. They look to push this walker.
Where is the threat for Leffa? I'm going to hold that thought because it looks like last stand used here. Beautiful ult for Eidorian just to say, hey, we do not want to do this right now. It's bot time for that ult to fall off, and now Hydration in such a bad spot here. He's able to back away. Seismic Impact going to find the slam, but not much more behind it. Now finally Leffa making his way into the mix as Hydration does eventually tick down, and Vegas will find one. So that engage, or that counter engage, was not for nothing. We go 1 for 1 in the trades. But objectives down again. Llama Lords, this is insane to me that they've put so much effort. They forfeit an urn to lose a fight for a Guardian, and then they start losing more fights, and they pick up a walker, and they've kept themselves in this game. We're seeing such a contrast of ideals, right? And how the game is being played by both of these teams. Hydra Nation playing to be scrappy, playing to fight and try and get these objectives, and then play for the urn. And on the opposite side, it's Llama Lords being a little bit more reactive to the fighting, and then looking to push any lead that they can in any of these lanes. And it led to Guardian after Guardian after Guardian. And now a Walker on top of it, and it's kept them in this game, and it's actually given them their first lead.
Yeah, come back from a bit of a deficit like that with the lead now is certainly impressive and good team play rotations there. And that one Guardian is still standing up here. It looks like Hydra Nation actually kind of grouping up to be able to find something. We have Young Calc sliding in, as it looks like they got to pick onto Lord, though. Binding Word coming through, but Young Calc able to make a quick escape as Hydra Nation pushing up hard. Pure Content in the jungle does have the Singularity available. They need it here. We see Lefa now pushing up. They're making a play on this Guardian, but looks like they're just going to let it fall. No point defending that when it's going to go down that quick. Hydra Nation now looking to rotate over, potentially push this Walker here. Do lose DMB. Got caught out a little bit, so actually they're going to kind of back off. They see all the members of Llama Lords on that green lane. Shoulder charge coming in, but grappled away. A lot of damage onto Vegas. A big rescue beam comes through, though, to get him out of there. Now going for the seismic impact. Doesn't have anywhere to target. Just going to jump out of there and disengage.
Wow. But huge pickups again. While the fight is happening, Llama Lords are still finding ways to make plays around the map, and it's led to 2 more Walkers. They the whole time they had Sizz Lucky just pushing Park. And that's what your Mirage can do because of the teleport, right? So they're using Mirage to the fullest of their ability, and they're okay with these scraps happening, right? They're okay with Vegas doing stuff like this and constantly trying to fight because they're getting objectives whenever Hydra Nation are doing this. So Young Calc does survive this time around. Vegas is able to walk away. Now Adorian is looking for the high ground, and he's got it here, but he's going to get caught out. Has the ult available, can maybe look to deal with Lefos doing so much damage here. Low HP, Adorian has no way out, and it's Hydration to take the kill, but an assassination would have done it if not.
Yeah, definitely rough to get caught out up on that roof. Kind of exposed there with the whole team showing up. Pure Content now, one with the urn. They're making the run for Llama Lords, but they are up exactly 10k. So the spawn is on the side of Hydra Nation, which isn't great. Like, it's nice to have the lead, but it's not great that you have to go over there to get the urn. They do have all their walkers remaining, which is pretty impressive here. But it looks like it's actually just going to be a bait. Pure Nation kind of running away, and looks like they're just kind of forcing this fight. You see Hydra Nation grouping up with 5, about to be 6 members down there. They might just be looking to push that last walker and use the urn as bait. You see Pure Nation still hanging around there, yeah. That's what it looks like.
The problem with the urn is, right, eventually, obviously everybody knows where you're at, but then you start to run into those implications that the urn has once you get to that 90-second mark. So they've denied the urn from Hydra Nation if that was a play that they were looking to make. But unfortunately, it didn't really pan out the way that they were hoping, or at the way that we think they were hoping, right? That everybody would work towards that left side and open things up downtown Broadway. That is not the case.
Yeah, so they've re-picked it up here and are still hanging around that area. I'm not sure what exactly. We can only assume that they're still trying to bait something, or maybe just like try and get Hydra Nation to think it's a bait and then commit. But we see Pure Nation just running around on the back line, just picking it up and dropping it again. I wonder if they're trying to. There's no way they're trying to get the lead to change back to neutral. I don't. And then like drop it and then pick it. I don't know if that works. I don't think it does.
Previously it didn't. There's
no idea.
No way out for Sizz. So previously it was wherever it was when the urn spawned. No, wait. Sizz actually survived that. That's insane. Young Calc was there on the outside of the frozen shelter. Hydration's now popped the last stand to try and make this work, but somehow Llama Lords weathered the storm there while we talk about how the urn works.
Yeah, it was a big rescue beam from Lord here. A Singularity coming in, but the Assassinate Lefa is going to be able to pick up the kill here. Going to lose 3 for it, though, as DMB goes down. So does Vegas and Flick. Still chasing down Lefa here. Rokane looking for the kill on this Vindicta. Is going to get tethered. The DPS is there. Lefa is gone. That's a 4-man wipe for Llama Lords. They have space to work with now. Hydration looking to get something on this Mo and Krill, but will get out of the Blinding Word just in time. Now they have the urn. Now they're looking to make the drop for real, as well as push this Walker. A huge opportunity for them off of that skirmish.
Yeah, you know, about a 10k soul lead turns into 4 kills, and now a 14k soul lead with the possibility of that urn, but more importantly, a mid-boss here, which is going to allow so much lane pressure once you get those Super Troopers online. It's also going to allow you to make a mistake, which usually Hydra Nation can capitalize on, but when the death timers are so low, you can afford it when you have the Rejuvenator. Oh, but things are getting sticky here. Nobody's got the Rejuve just yet. Jumping on through, and it's Hydra Nation with the steal!
Oh my gosh. What a telekinesis, a huge play coming out there. They're still scrapping here, but 4 members dead. The assassinate from Lefa. Dorian tries to jump in for something. Rokane looking for some kind of kill, but the frozen shells are coming out. The healing is so much. It's going to outdo the DPS. Flick and
look at
Vegas
the healing
going
on
down
Rokane,
there.
though.
Yeah, I mean, you have so much lifesteal on this Infernus. Rokane, the sole survivor of that endeavor. 3 members of Hydra Nation going down, but they do have the rejuve. And suddenly the tables have turned a little bit there. It was a really huge rejuve steal from Hydra Nation. That was amazing.
That is such a huge steal because things are looking so good for Llama Lords. And outside of any Deadlock game, meta, macro, micro, we erase all of that. This now comes down to, like, attitude and feel. And Llama Lords were on top of the world with a 14,000 soul lead. They were making a play for the mid-boss. And then the wind just gets ripped from their sails. And it's put the Rejuvenator on 3 players of Hydra Nation still. They've now got the Super Troopers to keep these lanes in a good spot where there's still a Walker that Llama Lords have been fighting so hard to get. And that 14,000 soul lead is a 3,000 soul lead, still in favor of Llama Lords, but man, they have no wind under their wings after that, I would imagine.
Yeah, they got so much money from those kills there, and Hydra Nation picked up the urn here as well. Dorian getting caught out just a bit there. It's only going to continue to contribute to that now as Hydra Nation, with quite a bit of momentum behind their back, they need to look to bring down some walkers. They need those flex slots to open up. They have 2 that are somewhat low here, and looks like they're pushing that Broadway side there. Only Rokane there to defend it. Other members of Llama Lord are going to have to rotate over, as looks like Lefa and Quig making their way over to this fight as well. Actually backing off. See the members showing up, and now they're actually looking for a pick here onto this Mo and Krill. The Binding Word comes out. It's going to get him. The DPS coming in. They will pick him up. Did take just a minute of how tanky young Calc is. But with a Mo and Krill gone and the combo still up, now a good position to push some walkers here.
And they get that one relatively free after finding that kill, and now they're just rotating on over, and Sizz Lucky is not safe any longer as he looks to play underneath his walker. He does get assassinated. Lefa got to be 85% on those assassination shots, not for kills, but just for damage. The Vindicta's been doing so much in a lot of these fights, and from Rejuve Steel to now opening up the base, Hydra Nation have set themselves up real nicely, but Llama Lords are still trying to find answers, right? Lord might not be able to keep this base safe, but he can at least get that walker, and he's done just that.
We just now see the inhibitor pick up there on Rokane as well. Very good item on this Infernus, but the fight coming in. We see Dorian coming around the backside. He's looking for Death Slam. The Frozen Shelter's still up, though. It will run out here. A bit of a missed opportunity. He's going to have to fight Lefa. Uses the Death Slam just here. Tries to throw him into the Singularity. Goes for the Ground Slam. That's Lefa gone. That's DMB gone. 2 members down. Hydration also getting melted here. Dorian still chasing him down. Goes for the parry. It's not enough. There's Vegas falling. And Hydra Nation, they are on the retreat. Flick and Quig trying just to escape and damage control right now. But the members of Llama Lords, they are running it down this green lane, or this blue lane. They are looking for a shrine right here, maybe 2. Sizz Lucky already in there. The Dynamo as well to back him up. Flick and Quig just trying to buy as much time as they can.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the clapback. This is the play that Lord made possible by pushing that Walker and getting Broadway pushed in all the way downtown. It's allowed for exactly that, picking up the shrines there, having a beautiful response. The game is neck and neck now after what seemed like a huge push from Hydra Nation. But the team fight prowess out from Idorian working with peer content, who... I mean, shout out Idorian and Pure Content. It looks like Idorian's taken the spot of El Leon, unfortunately, in way of duos. But Lord's play right there. The Viscous, to me, has felt a little bit like a liability. Lord was dying a handful of times in the early game, getting picked off in the mid game, and I thought, man, the Viscous Lord just really can't get things going. But he has played his part so incredibly well. If not to keep somebody alive, it's to keep the game alive, and he did that pushing Broadway.
Yeah, absolutely. And we mentioned earlier as well, like the team fight from Llama Lords just looked really, really good. And I mean, they showed it right there. The flank from Idorian with some really solid positioning, and everything from Hydra Nation fell apart. Like, yeah, you get it's a one-man death slam, but that one man is Lefa with the assassinate, who has been dealing so much damage, and you just remove him from the fight, basically as it's starting, and. I mean, it's just such a crippling loss to Hydra Nation, especially DMB went down very early there as well. So, I mean, now they're kind of scraping to get their lead back here. There's still a Walker remaining on Llama Lord's side, as it looks like everyone's just kind of clearing the jungle. But 4 men from Llama Lords now coming through. The combo from Young Calc blinks in, gets it on DMB. They're looking for the kill. The knockdown comes through, but there is the combustion. DMB trying to make it out of the way. The telekinesis coming on in. The rest of Hydra Nation showing up now onto this fight. Looks like over on this side.
And then trying to make it work, right? Sis Lucky on the outside, looking to make good on the kills. Frozen Shelter's out to buy some time, and the health bars are still good for Llama Lords. They can continue to fight forward. Meanwhile, Telekinesis, Frozen Shelter, Last Stand, they're all gone. And Hydration there on his last legs as he eventually falls. And at this point in the game, and this point in the fight, Lefa can only hope to keep Llama Lords at bay as he sends out a stake. It roots him up for a second, but it only delays the inevitable as Pure Content looks to back away. He's going to get knocked down on the chase. Is Rokane as he's going to take the fight right to Vegas. It's a very tanky Abrams up and over the top. Gets caught up. The health bar's just too low, and Rokane has 36,000 souls. No way the big blue man survives here in this one, and it's 4 once more for Llama Lords as they can continue to push on through, but the lanes, Lego, are unfortunately not in their favor.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go for a mid-boss here off of this advantage. Rokane has a very scary Infernus build. He's got the inhibitor, the toxic bull, as we mentioned earlier, and the crippling headshot. It makes dueling so difficult, as well as the ricochet makes it really good in team fights. And it's just pumping out so much damage for Llama Lords with all of that money. It's going to be a pretty easy inhibitor here. No one from Hydra Nation even able to contest. They're going to be trying to carry the urn. Looks like Quig has it, but with Llama Lords all grouped up, I think they're going to try and contest it. They're already on that side of the map. They're just waiting to see where Quig is going to show his head next.
And it's unfortunate, right? The lead was not enough. It still isn't enough. It's 10%, so they'd have to be, what, 14,000 souls ahead. So it's a neutral earn, which feels great for Llama Lords. It doesn't feel as great for Hydra Nation. I think looking at the fights now moving forward, Idorian is without an ultimate. You cannot fight without that ultimate. I asked earlier and it got interrupted, but what is the answer to Vindicta, right? You don't have a Paradox. You don't have somebody that's going to rip them out of the sky. You don't have a Bebop. I think that's why the Vindicta pick is so safe, because you have to use that Death Slam to get Lefa out of the sky, or else Lefa is just going to rip through everybody. So this next team fight, eyes are on Idorian, eyes are on Lefa. Obviously, Rokane's going to be doing Rokane things, but I'm really going to be paying attention to how they mitigate the presence that Lefa can have, because we know that Lefa is a monster when it comes to just Deadlock as a whole.
Yeah, it's a very long cooldown on Death Slam as well. You want to try and maximize its output. One kind of cheap answer, you can buy Knockdown to try and get Vindicta out of the sky here, but it doesn't look like anyone has picked that up here on Llama Lords. They prioritized other items, and you know, dealing with other counters to some other characters rather than going for Leffa here, and just going to have to rely on that Death Slam to make something happen here. But that's the Patron transforming now. The last stand for Hydra Nation. They're going to have to take this fight in the pit if they want to serve game one. We see a quick swap there from Flick. Not able to get too much off of it, though, but slamming in now. It is Vegas. The goo ball comes in from Lord, dancing around on this top side, but they're upstairs. That's the Patron, by the way. Hi, Patron. Looks like they're going to be forced out of the base, though. They do have Lord kind of tied up a little bit. Pumping a lot of damage into this Viscous. Will be able to make it out safely here. Llama Lords making the escape. They did lose their Dynamo, but they did get the Patron down to a weakened state. But choosing to play it safe, I think here's the smart move for them.
And not that anything feels worth the trade of your tier 1 Patron, but I think Hydra Nation had this is what separates them and why they've been at the top. They've just got a plan. They've just got an idea, and they're all on the same page where they pick up that urn and then they back up into their base. And what that does is, you know, when it comes down to it, hey, we have to team fight, and we're going to force Llama Lord. Why wouldn't they push all 4 of our lanes? Why wouldn't they try and push into our base, right? So they take that urn, they set it down, they make sure that that can't be picked up for free, and they force Llama Lords into the very uncomfortable territory that is the enemy base. And then we see the pick potential of your Paradox, but also the assassinate potential from Leffa. Again, if you're not dealing with that Vindicta, if you're giving too much space to Leffa, that's going to happen every time. That was a situation where I think pure content is just like, what can I even do there, right? I got ulted. I thought I was out with the rescue beam, and then I get sniped, and now I'm dead. And that's all it takes for Hydra Nation is that one little slip up. So Llama Lords, no rejuve now, have to be perfect.
Yeah. See a Dorian out here going for the jungle, but all 5 members of Hydra Nation, they're out here doing a knockdown. They're going to get the kinetic carbine. Try to blink up to the top side. Can't get the wall jump. Has the binding word. Gets slowed down by the beam. But Dorian's probably be going down here. Gets shoulder charge into the wall. The damage pumping in. An easy pick there. Caught a Dorian out in the jungle. A dangerous move now, but a good pick for Hydra Nation. Another urn has spawned. We could see them. It's in a neutral spot. They might just be making a play to try and deliver this here, and it looks like that's what Quig's doing. Just running across as a group. A little bit of pressure onto this Walker. Looks like they're going to leave DMB behind with some friends while Quig is kind of running around, being a distraction. You're actually going to set the urn down. They see the team fight breaking out here. Lord in goo ball, going in deep right now, bouncing around. It's a big stun here. Jumping off, but we do lose DMB.
Yeah, that was the pickup, a really nice pickup. Followed the project mind in the goo ball, was able to find that kill onto DMB, and that's a huge carry down. Make it 2 as Vegas has also fallen here in this fight, and Llama Lords maybe find a way back into this one. And Dorian is still not here, but a singularity onto Hydration secures the kill and will make sure of it. Now Leffa forced to back away. This is the Vindicta with no space, but a rescue beam from Quig out to safety. We'll make sure that Leffa survives, but a big response from Llama Lords after they lose a Dorian very early in that skirmish. And now this is that tier 2 Patron, right? They're just going to try and walk into this one. There's no frozen shelter to deny, and Llama Lords, unless Leffa can do something crazy, are going to pick up game 1 over Hydra Nation.
Yeah, the Lord actually just dumping into the base there, getting a quick kill. This will be game 1 going over to Llama Lords. Other places of the map. Rocane there, 47,000 damage on this Infernus is pretty huge. 17k objective damage on Sizz Lucky, doing so much work with all that split pushing there. Really good performance from Llama Lords.
Yeah, I think we see sometimes the Mirage does so much damage that you want the Mirage in team
the
fight.
2-0 from Llama Lords here. I think that's what I'd like to see, but Hydration back on the Amber side again, chose to go for it. Once again, I think the bans are going to stay pretty similar here. I wouldn't be surprised if Llama Lords go for a, sort of a similar strategy. Looks like, yeah, the Pocket, the Yamato. Nothing's changed, and they're not willing to give that up. See the first pick, Kelvin, there for Quig. It's going to be for Hydration, but or Hydra Nation. But yeah, I'd be surprised if we see anything like that we haven't seen yet. Already, it's looking pretty similar. The Viscous, the Mirage here for Llama Lords. And honestly, I think Hydra Nation, I think they can win a run back. I think if there's just a few things they do differently. Well, actually, there's one thing right there. They denied the Infernus away from Rokane. That's kind of big because that was definitely the carry there for Llama Lords. He did so much damage and was such a problem both in team fights and in duels. So pretty good pickup there. Probably going to be DMB on that. There's he flick back on the Paradox as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of flexibility to that Infernus too. I think what you mentioned though is key in that one. It's take it away from Rokane, who is very proficient on this hero specifically. But there's also some flexibility where that could be a Lephus Infernus, that could be a DMB Infernus. Now that we've got the Vindicta locked in, I would assume that is going to be DMB on the Infernus and Lepha back on the Vindicta. And they've taken away, again, kind of the pick potential, right? Obviously, Lash is still an issue, but we saw Lepha given a lot of space and was able to make a lot of plays in certain situations where, you don't have something to invest in that Vindicta to make sure that they don't hop into the sky and just shoot everybody. On the opposite side, Pure Content probably still going to be rocking that Dynamo. We get a change-up, though, and it's an Abrams out for Llama Lord. So we'll see. They've got a little extra engage. I'm wondering who's going to be piloting that Abrams and if they're still looking to get back to the Lash, because they've kind of just been suffocated out of carries. I think 7 might be the last carry pick that's really available, with Infernus, Vindicta, and Wraith all being picked up by Hydra Nation.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if we see a Haze pick come out here at all when, you still have the 7 as an option here. But yeah, the double carry thing from Hydra Nation is definitely pretty rough here, at least in the draft. There's the Lash coming out from Dorian again. Looks like it could be scary though, right? Because that team needs money to function. There's hydration on the Warden, by the way, but you have 3 characters, Vindicta, Infernus, and Wraith, who all really want a lot of money in order to be able to function, and that's half your team right there. The only support it. Game 2 of the grand finals. A little bit of lane swapping going on as we look at our matchups. Wraith and Infernus on the solo lanes against Mirage and the Abrams. We got the Lord with Adorian again on the Viscous Lash lane, once again against the Warden Kelvin. So not too many changes. Flick and this time Vegas on the Paradox Vindicta lane there against the Dynamo. So a little bit similar to how it was last time in terms of matchups.
And you can already see early in this one, Young Calc feeling comfortable just pushing forward on the Abrams, right? And trying to keep the pressure on DMB. Has already pushed that wave all the way downtown York. Is going to back away. Meanwhile, the pressure from Hydra Nation is uptown Greenwich. As Quig and Hydration keep this lane that you mentioned at bay. And this was basically how it went previously. It's just wait till we get ults online, wait till we get abilities online, and we'll see if we can't make plays elsewhere. Quig is looking to get something done on the side, does back away from that lane. In Vegas, glass cannon carry, but just standing on the front lines, they've got a lot of pressure in these mid lanes early, that being Hydra Nation.
Yeah, definitely want to be careful about that 7 stun that you have. If you fly up to, if it gets put on you as Vindicta, right? Your first initial reaction as Vindicta is you want to fly away, but you're going to get stunned out of the air. And, maybe you'll land far away, but it's not great to lose the cooldown. It's kind of a long cooldown early on. You don't really get a lot out of it. And, of course, you have a lot of the on-the-ground CC with that Dynamo in the way as well. So, we're looking for Flick here once again to kind of be the one to make the plays. A nice kinetic barrage there. Kind of forces Rokane away from that position, and that's going to be what we're looking for. The kinetic barrage, or the kinetic carbine, my bad, into the assassinate into a good stake is really how I think that lane is going to be able to win for Hydra Nation.
And they are happily keeping that pressure on, though. Pure Content and Rokane mirroring that Greenwich lane underneath the Guardian. Another carbine coming through, getting good damage out from Flick. Ooh, Paradox is a priority in, I would say, probably 95, maybe 90% of games, but Flick has played so much on this Paradox. it doesn't feel great to let it slip through. I mean, we saw the way that Flick and Leffa worked to find late game kills in that previous game. So a lot of comfortability there. That's gonna allow a middling lane or a losing lane on paper feel pretty darn good, right? When you have these players that are on heroes that they are so incredibly comfortable on.
So we got young Calc rotating over here on the Abrams, looking for a shoulder charge, going deep, but not quite able to connect with anything. Sticking around for a second, but just going to go back to the lane there. Not a lot able to come out of that one. Do you see the Wraith kind of coming back around here? DMB maybe looking to find where the laner went, but everything kind of going back to a neutral state once again. I mean, it's mostly just, as you said, a nice shoulder charge into this thing, but we'll be able to teleport out there. So a nice trade for young Calc, but yeah, like you said, it's mostly just going to be waiting for some good abilities to come online, get some souls up, get some few key early items before we see too much action.
Yeah, I do want to give a little bit of a couple of roses, some petals over to young Calc in not losing too much in lane, right? Looking to make a play when the lane state is in a good spot, rotates over, doesn't find anything, tries, hard, dives a little bit, gets underneath the veil. All that's great. But going back to lane takes nearly no damage, right? And that's what Hydra Nation are doing. They're trying to find a way to punish the Abrams from leaving the lane. And if he goes back lower HP, obviously it feels better for DMB to be able to punish in that lane. But he walks back, takes almost no damage, if any at all. And even Steven, right? They just go right back to it. Now Lord is in a tough spot. And this is reminiscent of that first game where we saw Lord getting picked off, even with that cube. This time around, a much more preemptive cube, high HP, no chance at execute, and Lord survives.
And young Calc was looking for another rotation there for a minute, but does have to still contend with the wave. See a little bit of jungling action going on in the solo lanes right now, as Mirage Infernus has mostly just been a handshake kind of farming endeavor here. But, I mean, no one's really going for these big under the Guardian early on plays that we've sometimes seen Hydra Nation go for here. I mean, you're down a game, and Llama Lords has the potential to take the series. You're not willing to make any of these big kind of risky plays. Does look like a shoulder charge over on that Abrams there against DMB, but didn't really lose any health, so... I mean, dead even at 5 minutes. This is the first game I think we've seen all day where it's like that, but a nice tower dive. They will pick up young Calc, DMB, getting him with the card. First blood on the board.
Really good on DMB there, too, because that happened just before this rotation happened. Just before Lord and Adorian can come over. No, gets caught as he leaps off the zip line there and does eventually get stunned. But that's Gooball down. Cube is still available, and Lord is not out of there. Oh, my goodness. Huge puddle punch to survive. Dorian goes big as well to make sure that he lives. And at this point, Llama Lords just walk away from it, and that's exactly what they do. A huge response there from Llama Lord.
Yeah, they were not going to let that go on Pudges for sure. But now Quick and Hydration putting a lot of pressure onto that tower. For a bit, looks like Adorian and Lord now rotated over. You see young Calc over in this this other lane now by himself. He got 3 members of Hydra Nation stealing the jungle, just getting a little bit of extra money here of these tier 2 camps, and they might be rotating back over to the center lane now to try and make something happen. Looks like Lord and Adorian are aware of what's going on and looking for the response, though. Well, 3v2 potentially about to break out as Hydration forced to retreat back to his tower there. Everyone just going back to their lanes once again.
They will try and kill me.
I do want to make mention of the point that you brought up. You talked about no tower dive, then we do eventually get one, and all is right in the world, but you talked about the length at which this game maybe needs to go, or the speed that Hydra Nation, excuse me, need to play it. They got 3 carries. They've got a lot of souls they need to collect. This slow, staying in lane type game, nobody's diving, no real risk for Hydra Nation. That's exactly what they want. And the real risk was DMB diving and trading 1-for-1, and we back out even. This feels good for them. This is right where they want to be to allow their carries to continue to farm up.
Yeah, I mean, the longer this goes on, the more money that they're going to make. So, I mean, they're choosing to play a little bit more passively here. You know, you obviously not making them instant money from the kills, but you're playing for the long game, which is what you're looking for. Looks like now here, Flick going for the tower dive. The Singularity opens up.
Pure Content tried to hang on with the Singularity. Stun grabs 2. Goo Ball picks up 2 of their own. And it's back in 4. 2 for 3 is Hydra Nation, unfortunately, on the losing end of that trade. And I say unfortunately because they cannot afford to let anything slip away here in this one.
And a big tower dive coming out there. Flick making those plays like we expect to see there. But it's again, everyone going back to the farming. And now just getting these tier 2 camps, getting these vending, or I call them vending machines. I know they're slot machines. I call them vending machines, but they're worth quite a bit of money here. And those are, if we're looking for this long game like Hydra Nation, to be making that kind of long game here. Oh, a nice frozen shelter comes out, but in the 7 ults, they will get the stun off onto the Kelvin. Some members of Llama Lord looking to respond to this. Quig trying to make a quick escape. Looks like he's not going to quite be able to make it out.
Yeah, tough there. That frozen shelter wasn't enough to keep Quig alive. That storm cloud just doing enough damage to keep everybody away from Rokane as well. Meanwhile, Quig goes down, but on the opposite side, it's a Dorian to fall. So this close game, it remains close in this, but with that DMB collects another. That's Young Kaut going down and a Guardian to follow maybe. After those kills, finally we're starting to see some structures get punished, and there it is. Quig will help DMB Uptown York take that first Guardian of the game. And Hydra Nation, this is when it gets scary, right? They've got themselves a small lead. This is when they really start to get seated in and feel comfortable on the server.
Yeah. Now you've got the lead, right? And this is kind of, I think, what Hydra Nation was lacking just a little bit in that previous game. Was it felt like even when they're trying to make things happen, Llama Lords was just responding with something else. But now Hydra Nation feel a little bit more in control, right? And you're playing for that long game, you're playing for the money, and the lead helps out exponentially with that as long as you just keep it rolling. Just keep playing safe, keep playing, you know, conservative, go for picks when you can find them, but get these Guardians, get this money. You can have a slow, boring game of Deadlock here, and you will absolutely come out on top.
And Llama Lords maybe needing to push the pace a little bit. We'll see if anything changes in their pace. That urn is scooped up. Quig holding on to that one. Lefa trying to find something. Sizz Lucky was actually getting punished, and that health bar still ticking on down as Quig works his way across the map. He's headed right into the fray, but this is where Hydra Nation are taking the reins on this fight. DMB collects a kill onto Pure Content, who's just moments away from that Singularity. Another Guardian goes down, so that's 3 for Hydra Nation and an urn on top of it all. They have grabbed control of this game here.
Yeah, nice urn drop for even more money right now. Up 10K at about 11 minutes. It's a very sizable lead. It's what we were seeing in some of those kind of stompy games earlier in the brackets. And it's a really good sign for Hydra Nation right now. We got quite a few members, looks like, of Llama Lords grouped up around this this green side, expecting something to happen possibly, but Hydra Nation has a few members in the area, but it doesn't look like they're going for much. Just getting those temple camps, getting even more money. The last Guardian still standing for Llama Lords, and they do want to protect it if they can. But Hydra Nation, they're just farming out their jungle right now. They're just taking it so slow and methodically. It's kind of surreal to, like, you know, watch this.
Yeah, especially based off of the first game where it seemed like Hydra Nation were, I don't want to say, they were forcing the action, right? They were making Llama Lords play their game. They were looking to make plays, rotate over. Quig was really helping DMB as, you know, York got pretty dicey. They were putting 3 players out towards Broadway to try and make moves. In the slower style that we're seeing here in this one, we're also seeing a much more controlled map for Hydra Nation. Is Vegas going to take to the skies, maybe get something?
Cube here. Binding Word going to come out onto Young Calc, but we'll be able to get away from there. Dorian in the distance. A lot of members, though. Llama Lord's coming over to take this fight here. Young Calc rushing in, going to get the charge onto Quig. Going now for the seismic impact. Going to jump away from that, actually. Get out of there just in time, but they will lose Lord here. Wave coming in. Quantum Entanglement going to get Young Calc out of the danger. It's like they're trying to kind of back away from this. The Tether's going to get 3 right now. Vegas unloading some damage. Both sides sort of backing up. After that kill on Lord kind of got traded. No one really wanted to commit to that fight, it looks like. The Llama Lord's chasing it down, actually. Going to get the pickup onto Quig. It'll be a trade 1-to-1. The support's going to be dying there. Now it's an opportunity to push it. Looks like they're going to get Vegas with the stun. 3 men pushing in. They will find him under the bridge. Pick up the Vindicta as well.
The problem is they need to get a little bit more, right? Those 2 kills, it's a 2-for-1, but they lost a Walker, which is a huge pickup on Park for Hydra Nation. So it would have been great to see them maybe rotate over towards Park, where we saw Dorian push out that wave. That's now just going to be collected here by Hydration, right? And that 2-for-1 trade, you lost a player and a Walker in it, and it just doesn't feel good, right? We're seeing that 10k lead continue to remain a 10k lead because Hydra Nation came out on top of that exchange.
Yeah, and this is almost what we were seeing Llama Lords do last time, right? Hydra Nation was taking, you know, these fights, putting this pressure on Llama Lords, would just go somewhere else and, you know, get an objective. And, well, as Hydra Nation are the ones that just kind of pulled that off right there with that little Walker exchange. And, I mean, continuing to just stay on their side of the map and just collect these waves more and more. They've maintained this 10k lead almost exactly for so long. Another pick actually on the Lord. Looks like for DMB out there. So that's just more money coming in. So we're starting to see a lot of these bigger items show up now for the carries. Stopping DMB, stopping Vegas is going to start to be tough. DMB is pretty well ahead on the Wraith. And, well, now you're really just buying items, I think, to try and counter that if you're Llama Lords, rather than building for your heroes. Because, I mean, when you're this far behind, you got to find a way to stop the momentum.
Yeah, 100%. Lefa is also in a really good spot on the Infernus. 16k, 18k on DMB.
Oh, yeah.
They are looking for a response, right? Hey, let's get this urn. It's on the safe part of the map. Let's see if we can do it. But Hydra Nation are here to fight for it. They will not allow it for free.
And Quig coming in. We have the last stand from Hydration here as well. The Frozen Shelter going up. It's me, Young Calc, going down. And the urn not quite recovered as the rest of the members of Llama Lord showing up to the fight now. Dorian on the bridge trying to grapple in. He's going to get a ground strike, and that's Flick going down. The combustion coming in. He's going to find the stun, but here's the death slam. Not able to grab anyone's going to get shot out of the sky. Dorian melting. The damage coming out from Lefa is just too much on this Infernus. Hydration going to walk away with a couple picks there. The trade for Flick's life. They're going to get the Walker as well, which is huge. The Singularity to buy some time. The 7 in the goo ball rolling in. The damage pumping out. Llama Lord's cleaning it up, though. Gonna punish them for that Walker take for sure, but I mean, Hydration, they've only grown the lead off of that.
Yeah, Hydra Nation's still in the lead, but Llama Lord showing signs of life, and that's important. If they could find this kill onto DMB, oh no, they get trapped up there. Beautiful Quantum Entanglement out to safety, because 2 of those members had gotten hit by the stake. And now Sis Lucky, who's just had a rough go at things, is, well, looking at that just again. And if they could have found this kill onto DMB, they maybe could have hit that mid-boss. But instead, it's a kill onto Flick. What more can you find behind it? Stormcloud used. It looks like that was going to be interrupted and taken down quite possibly. There it is. Vegas finally goes. But the respawns for Hydra Nation have come through, and they are here in full force as we're seeing DMB also look to get back into the fight. Lord going to get caught inside the corner. That's a kill onto your goo. And with that 2 for 2 here, and it looks like Hydra Nation, that's enough for them to say mid-boss is next up.
Yeah, good fight recovery there. Now the mid-boss as their reward. There's a few members of Llama Lords. We saw a rejuve steal once from Hydra Nation last time. I don't know if Llama Lords are going to look to go for it here. It is spawning See Young Calc on the outskirts. We don't have any real ultimates other than a Seismic Slam to work with. On the top side, the Frozen Shelter is going to come in. It's going to buy quite a bit of time. There's a Seismic.
He's going to slam.
Looking for a charge. He's looking for the slam. There it is. Go for the steal. He got it. Oh my goodness. He gets it. Young Calc with the Rejuve steal. Dies for it, but a huge turnaround there for Llama Lords.
That is such a huge pickup. And a complete flip of the script from game one. Llama Lords with a huge steal. So they die for it. Sure, that's fine. 3 players are going to be without the Rejuvenator, but it gives them Super Troopers, which is going to make sure that Hydra Nation doesn't continue to push forward. And now we get the Singularity Gooball combo again. And look at the damage, Lego. There's way too much to survive.
The supports coming in force on the defense of their Walker. Again with his big Gooball. Flick now versus the 7. The wall is up. Is not enough. Rocade making quick work of the Paradox over in that middle side. And now closing in on the lead within 7k now. Llama Lords are looking to bring this one back into control. They're grouping up. They're looking to push this Greenwich Walker now. Open up all of the lanes. Well, actually, this is the one to get their flex slot. They've gotten the one, but they need the second one. And this is going to be a pretty huge reward. Suddenly, I mean, what if... As soon as they stole that Rejuvenator, they get the kills, they get the souls, they have the Rejuve, the minions, and now you're getting a flex slot off of this Walker. Like, that one interaction from Young Calc just basically saved this game for them. And now they're ahead by a little bit as well.
Yeah, they just came back, I think, from a 16k soul deficit with everything that they just collected there. I do want to add, too, they didn't have any flex slots going into those 2 previous fights. It was after that they got the 3rd Guardian and the 2nd Walker, so they were really handcuffed, that being Llama Lords, in the last 2 fights because they were still waiting to spend, you know, the 110,000 souls they had as a team in its entirety. So now they're going to be feeling a lot better. And when you go back to that play, the Frozen Shelter to stall, but what else is there for Hydra Nation? Because all of the ults were on cooldown for both sides, except for the Seismic Impact and the Frozen Shelter. And after that Shelter for Hydra Nation, then what? Telekinesis is down. You can't stop them from just getting in and getting on top of you, and that's exactly what Llama Lords did.
Yeah, it was a really good positioning as well from Young Calc. Like, being up on that top side. Like, there's not really a good way to react to that Seismic Impact with the Frozen Shelter. You just kind of have to do it and hope that you get a good timing or you're able to kill the Abrams in time, but it's like, once again, they're going here on Flick, gonna catch him out just a little bit, goes for the swap, but the Dorian, and we get into the KO, they're going for a Death Slam now onto the ulting Hydration, gets pulled up though, but the ult still goes. It's gonna kill him in Death Slam. The trade getting out, the full fight breaking out now, the Frozen Shelter coming up here. Pure Content looking to get in there with some sort of crowd control. We see the combustion come out as well. Trying to get out of there. Lefa will pick up a kill, but now has to make the great escape. The 7 chasing down DMB once again. Oh, the parry though. But Rokane will pick up the KO in return. The members of both sides getting cut down. It's 2v2. Rokane still battling for his life. Barely alive. The lifesteal's not enough though. It is just Pure Content. We have the Assassinate here from Vegas. Will pick up in the Singularity. Adorian looking for the kill. Goes for the Ethereal Shift with 1 health though. Adorian cleans him up. It's just a Dorian with 1 million soul bags left in the jungle here and flicking the base. Look at all of these. Just so much money.
Yeah, Dorian able to collect. I want to talk about a couple of things in that fight and just the way that it happened. Okay, so it ends the way that it ends because of the Rejuve. Dorian died, came back, and was able to collect that last kill, making it, I think, a 7, or I guess a 6 for 6 ultimately, because everybody died. And Flick had just respawned, and Dorian comes back. A couple of large tools that went unused that absolutely break my heart. I say unused, but Concussive Combustion was procced, but a beautiful Quantum Entanglement from Pure Content made sure that Lefa got no value on that ultimate. And then, as good of a play as Pure Content made, when Rokane and Pure Content were alive going head-to-head against Lefa and Vegas, The singularity was available, but pure content hung on to it for too long. Rokane eventually ends up dying, and then Vegas is eventually able to use that assassination to get some extra souls onto pure content. So the back and forth in that fight was absolutely insane. The death count obviously shows that, but Llama Lords were allowed to make that mistake. Now there's no rejuve. They cannot make a mistake here.
And Cube and the rescue beam here from Lord goes for the ball. The Expanse coming out as well here. Or Hydration, sorry, getting shut down in the last stand. The Frozen Shelter coming out to try and keep Hydra Nation alive. The Goo Ball coming in. They will bring down pure content, but Lord is chasing him down. The Death Slam as well. Looks like it's got 3. Gonna throw him back toward the team. Ground Strike comes in. Big damage onto Hydra Nation. Fight still going. Quib looking for something. Just trying to slow as many people as possible. Combustion comes out. They're chasing him down right now. Okay, look for something, but Quib is going to get shut down there. 5 members still alive. As the Infernus will get cut down right there. Young Calc able to pick that one up. The Mirage and Rokane going to finish off Flick. And a disaster for Hydra Nation. All 6 members dead. No mid-boss, but, I mean, all the waves are pushed up. This is going to be shrines right here.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot for this one. Last stand, it shortly is going to be off cooldown for Hydration as he comes out of spawn, but you're a lamb to the slaughter if you're walking out by yourself. So I'd imagine he waits for Vegas and the rest of the crew to get online. It's not enough for Llama Lords to finish, but man, they have really opened things up.
Yeah, and getting a shrine as well. I mean, that's just more flex slots, right? We were talking about it. Like they have all of them up now, so they are free to just build whatever they want here, and they have the money to do it. They're up 20k once again. And Hydra Nation, they have no map control right now. They have that one lane pushed up, but they got to take the time to reassert their place here in the map. As this urn, it looks like Llama Lord's just trying to force another fight with this. Really, just holding on to it over in that side lane.
And this is scary. We already saw the health starting to tick away with Idori, and he's got to put the urn down now, and it's going to look to reset. They pick up a huge kill onto Young Calc, and they're going to full send it. They're forcing the action again, right? How do Llama Lords respond to this when they're a player down, they don't have great ultimates, and they're forced to just concede? I talked about Lepa doing this, but it's Hydra Nation as a whole. You give them an inch, they take a mile, but here's the fight for the rejuve. It's picked up by Hydra Nation.
Once again, they played that one a lot smarter. They took out the Abrams, they took out Young Calc a lot sooner, and Death Slam, Singularity were not up. So they knew that they could do it basically uncontested if the fight was not forced, and Hydra Nation probably would have been able to win that. So really good forced play there from Hydra Nation to get things back into it. And now they have the urn. They're probably going to look for a deposit here. Actually, they're just going to drop it, and they're just going to push for a shrine, rather. They'll come back for that later. But this might just be some shrine trading going on with, in a 4v6 right now. Hydra Nation has the numbers to make something happen. Llama Lord's just kind of forced into their base here.
I see Dynamo.
Yeah, a similar situation where it's not, you know, just Hydration and one coming alive. There's still 4 alive, but it never feels good to step out of your base if you're not a full team to take this fight into 6 of Hydra Nation, who've just ripped through the shrines. They've got themselves the rejuve, so they have so much pressure in the lanes. And I mean, look at the wave state there. As Quig actually gets caught on the way out. As the respawns come through, Llama Lords, they've pulled the trigger in trying to find a fight with Hydra Nation, who have tucked tail and headed all the way back to their base for a reset.
Yeah, and the rejuve up as well. Quig's going to be right back in it here for another play. All the jungle has come back at this point as well, and it looks like Flick has picked up the urn once again. Hydra Nation not been too keen on actually delivering it, just using it as a means to force some other objective, and been very good at doing it. But looks like Flick going to be going around the long way here, holding it in the back side, trying to force Llama Lords to that right side of the map right now. Hydration's already over there. So I've got Quig coming here as well. They might actually just go for the money. They have the rejuve, so they will be forgiven if it does go badly, but it looks like this could just be an easy urn deposit here for Hydra Nation.
They just can't answer this. If things go sideways for Llama Lords, the whole
Yeah,
left
yeah.
side of their map, I mean, really all of the lanes being middling, right? If you don't have something pushing, you just can't fight elsewhere. If things were to go bad in that fight, Llama Lords lose a couple of members, then the left side of their base is open to be pushed. Everybody from Hydra Nation can hit the TP and then just start marching up York. So I think they take the low risk play there of let's give up the urn and fight on our terms. Let's not be forced to fight around that very open urn spot where a lot of these Hydra Nation heroes can get good value.
Yeah, definitely got to be very careful with the fights they pick, especially with this rejuve still up. You can see them they're just stuck in their base. They haven't really been able to push out very much at all. Take a look at some of the items. We do see the knockdown that got picked up there from Young Calc in order to better deal with Vegas on the Vindicta. We do have the decay as well for some of that anti-heal against the Infernus. There are some options to work with, but Hydra Nation, it's been the story of this game. They are not fighting when they don't want to. They are now, once they took the reins a few, like, however many minutes ago that was, they really haven't let go. They've been kind of dictating the pace of this game, and they want this to go back to being a slow grind because they have made up the deficit once again and have tied up the money.
Yeah, I mean, Hydra Nation, the only time that they've been behind in this game is when they made the mistake of 4v4ing over mid-boss and thinking that maybe Llama Lords would not contest. And so it really is on Hydra Nation to play their game. They've been able to do it. It's when they make a mistake, not to say or to take credit away from Llama Lords for punishing that mistake, but you know, Hydra Nation, they allowed Llama Lords to be in this game as close as they were because at 6 minutes, we saw a 4,000 soul lead, and then we saw it continue to increase from there. So now they just, not that they need to play perfect for the rest, but they need to make sure that they're not making those big mistakes because Llama Lords is a team that will absolutely punish and will take that fight, will go for that 50-50 if they think they can make something happen. And 50-50 is the name of the game now. We're 2,000 souls separating these two teams with buffs being picked up there. It looked like one on each side. It's even Stevens 30 minutes into the game.
Yeah, with the urn spawning now, Hydra Nation picking it up once again. We see Llama Lords kind of being sneaky around that bottom side. They're on Hydra Nation's side of the map, and they're just hiding there. They're expecting Quig to make his way toward that urn spot and either drop the urn or force a fight. It looks like they see an opportunity here. Lefa gonna get hit with the knockdowns, gonna have to run away here. Llama Lord's looking to jump in. Will get pulled out of there, but the team fight now erupting. The seismic impact's about to come in. Slamming down, actually goes backwards to get out of there. The last stand from Hydration, trying to chase everyone down. They're looking for a pick on the Llama Lords right now. Can't quite catch up to any of them, though. Flick jumping in there will land the carbine, but they're only able to pick up the Dynamo.
I see the detective.
Bit of a bad engagement there from Llama Lords. They're still trying to make their way out of there. They're going to get into mid-boss. They're just trying to run, but Hydra Nation is not letting this go. They are chasing him down.
No, yeah, and mid-boss just spawned. This is absolutely horrible for Llama Lords as they get caught on the way out still. It's Young Calc, the next one to fall. Lord eventually follows. Sizz Lucky going to try and answer back for something, but how much more can you get as the Dorian goes down? Only 2 stand, and if not mid-boss, if not the game, excuse me, then mid-boss is absolutely on the menu here inside that frozen shelter. It is a frozen tomb for Rokane. And now Hydra Nation in the driver's seat here. Only one more player to worry about, and I mean, they are not batting an eye that direction.
Giving the wave there. Now the Patron is the target. Breaking into the base. They have the time. If they kill this fast enough, they might just be able to end it. And it looks like they could stick around, or they could go for the mid-boss. See them funneling out of the base here. Looks like it will be the mid-boss pickup. Play it safe once again. There's still some time on those respawn timers. They should be able to burn this down pretty quickly. They saw it looks like they're going to still be able to pick off Sizz Lucky here, who was never able to get back to the base. But with only a couple members going to be up, I mean, Llama Lord's not going to be able to contest this one at all. This is another good mid-boss here for Hydra Nation. And I think as soon as this happens, they're just going to go back to the push.
Oh, wow, okay, hold on. Llama Lords are immediately here to try and fight for this again. Singularity on
Singularity!
top of it. Can they steal it once more? Seismic impact comes down, and it's Hydra Nation to secure. Frozen Shelter not available, and it was, the effort was there, but unfortunately for Llama Lords, things go sideways, and this surely should be the end of the game as 3 players die on that push.
Yeah, a little bit of a desperation move there from Young Calc. And pure content. It almost paid off, but not quite. Hydra Nation were able to secure it, and this might just be the game. Very well could just be the game, as they're just in the pit right now. No one really up to contest that. No ultimates. And it looks like we're going to be going to a game 3.
Going to a game 3. Man, you know, there's obviously being number 1, and they've been number 1 for so long. Everybody's looking at this team and ways to beat this team. And in map 1, Llama Lords found it Lego. In map 2, I mean, slow and steady wins the race, and Hydra Nation, they won the race.
Yeah, I mean, they did their game plan. They farmed and made it a really slow
Talked
game.
about this where you can kind of force a Yamato ban. So they ban away the Viscous, say you can't have that, and we'll see if Hydra Nation let the Yamato through. They do.
Yeah, look, yeah, it looks like I was sort of thinking about this, and yeah, not banning, like, you're no longer forced to ban the Yamato, right? So you have your options, and you say you don't want to play against a Viscous, you don't want Vegas to first pick that, and this can be a first pick Yamato here for Llama Lords, something we have not seen this series at all, so this really shakes up a lot. Looks like we got the Infernus once again here, probably for Lefa and Quib, of course, still on the Kelvin. But yeah, this Yamato pick changes everything. I'm curious to see who they're going to have piloting. They're also going to deny away the Paradox from Flick, which is another huge shakeup here, because that has been the most consistent thing of Hydra Nation's game pretty much all tournament. So now that's another little mix-up we got here. Mirage going to be taken away in place of that, it looks like. But yeah, hard to tell exactly which direction this is going to go. I'm curious to see what these final picks coming in are. There's still a lot of things on the table. We've seen a lot of the Abrams, the Mo and Krill, of course, still available. It could be really good if it goes to Llama Lords with the Paradox combo. And Ivy is something as well that's on the table that has been sort of popular today. More of that support role. Vindicta as well. Hydra Nation have favored that. Could be another multi-carry angle. I don't know. Wraith has gotten very low so far. It will be an Abrams pickup from Llama Lords, though. Probably for Young Calc. But I'm curious where this Wraith is going to turn up, if it's going to turn up. I think it'd be wild if it didn't.
It does feel a little strange that with the Infernus being taken away, I get Rokane had a really good game on the 7. It felt a little more quiet, but still had most damage in the game. I'm pretty sure most souls are right up there for most souls. A really strong carry game. So maybe they're thinking, that's fine. Whatever. We'll save it for our last pick. We don't have to do it. Rokane is comfortable where Rokane is comfortable. Because that Wraith does get taken away. We'll see if maybe Vindicta is still favorable for Hydra Nation if they want to just go right back to that same comp. I'm pretty sure Idorian's going to be playing the Yamato, and what they gain in that Yamato is a lot of oomph, in your face, big damage, unkillable, chase you down, run you down. But what they lose is that disruption that the Lash brings to not only the early game in way of looking for ganks and just finding big bursts with the ground slam, as I ground slam or ground strike my microphone, but they lose that ultimate too. So they're getting a little bit of disruption. They're getting a little bit more of that control, securing that Warden and taking it away from hydration.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Llama Lords here with the multiple denies coming out like this. Really going for a different look in their team composition. There's that Vindicta again for Hydra Nation. They got the 2 carries in the Vindicta. The big difference there is really just the Mirage over the Paradox. We're looking to see what this last pick is. Obviously, Hydration can't go for the Warden again. And there's no Abrams, there's no Viscous. I mean, I think we're looking for some kind of frontliner here. It could be some kind of, it could be like an Ivy, but I feel like the options are a little bit more limited here. I think Llama Lord has done a good job navigating this draft so far. They will pick up the 7 for Rokane as their carry. So a nice team comp coming out there, but I'm curious what this last pick's going to end up being from Hydra Nation.
Mo and Krill? I would assume...
That's true. Yeah.
Because I think we're looking for a hydration hero right now. I think Flick is going to be on the Mirage. And then, yeah, hydration. He doesn't have his Warden. So I guess the Mirage pick may flex around. But I would assume that Flick is going to be picking that up since the Paradox was taken away. And now they are looking at... hydration plays Ivy. Hydration also plays Mo and Krill. So I think those are two good shouts as to where this draft or how this draft could round out here. But yeah, a lot of denial. And peer content on the Dynamo has looked really good. So I'm excited to see that again. And it's actually the Lash being picked up.
I'm a little bit surprised to see that. I kind of did expect the Mo and Krill there, but yeah, they're gonna go. The one thing I think that they were kind of lacking on their team was they had all that damage.
Game 3 of our grand finals. Llama Lords, your Amber Hand. Hydra Nation, your Sapphire Flame. Out to the Cursed Apple we go, and we are underway.
Yeah, and talking about that's Vindicta as well. Paradox and Flick, like the whole time he's kind of the playmaker, right? But Vindicta is not a playmaking character. Like you're looking at your Lash. Really, for that kind of stuff to happen. You're just there to follow up and pump out damage. But, I mean, speaking of damage, Sizz lucky getting a bit of poke taken in this early lane here. You're against the Mirage and the Kelvin. Definitely a pretty poke-heavy lane that Llamas are going to have to deal with over in that center there.
Vegas using the Veil tech to be able to keep that line of scrimmage right down the middle, not wanting to give up too much or take too much. Rokane again, back on the 7, laning here with Pure Content. It's been a strong duo. Pure Content's been good on the Dynamo, and like I said, Rokane, although it's a little different of a carry, right? A little more lightning ball, and you have that burst weapon versus just holding down that mouse 1 and spraying on the Infernus. Rokane played a very, very proficient 7. Did just as well as he did on the Infernus, who the last 2 games has been denied from him. So no worries there. And that is Adorian feeling very aggressive here. I mean, Adorian on the Yamato, but just the Yamato in general. It's got left a push underneath the turrets and very low in HP.
Yeah, and I mean, once that Yamato hits that kind of level 2, it's like a very early power spike, right, where you get the second point into your 1, because you get 60% bullet resistance when you're charging up that power slash, so you can kind of use it off cooldown without, like, getting punished, and that's where that kind of big poke starts to come out. And, I mean, we're seeing it right there. I think an early healing right might have been bought from Lefa to try and heal back up there, but Adorian got him pushed up underneath the tower. This is where you want to be as Yamato and really just like abuse your power slash, landing it right there once again, just keeping Lefa back in the tower. It's going to have the opportunity to just deny these orbs and start to build a lead. I think that's a lane that you're looking to, you're looking to either support if you're Llamas or if you're Hydra Nation. I could see an early Lash gank going over there to just try and stop this Yamato from doing too much before that ult comes online.
Broadway's getting a lot of pressure again. It's Lord targeted early here in this one. Nice pulse bomb that's going to force Twig out of the action there. I'm wondering if they look to back away. No, they are staying a little push there. Quig is eventually going to leave. Lord now trying to look to engage here. Oh, and Vegas just nowhere to go. Fortunately, Young Calc able to get an assist there, so his travels were not for naught there as he heads back to his lane where DMB is keeping that pressure on underneath the Guardian.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of money there, but the assist, of course, is nice to have. It's good to get that early shutdown on to Vegas, and we already see a little bit of that gold differential starting to occur. Not much, it's just early on, but if they can keep things going like this. And Looking at it right now, it looks like the Paradox actually rotating back over for a gank in return here to help out young Calc after he ganked there. He's going to land a nice carbine, but DMB will be able to read the map and get out of there before anything goes bad. On the other side, though, looks like that 7 getting taken down here. Kills dropping in left and right. Vindicta hunting him down. Pure content, nowhere to go in that corner. Another gank here, as it looks like Vegas actually rotated over to assist in that. A lot of early lane rotations going on, more than the last one for sure. Hydra Nation feeling a little bit more confident in this.
Yeah, Hydration dies in lane because of the rotation there from Vegas. So good punish from Llama Lords, understanding, hey, a play is about to be made. We need to do something on our own end. But the kill that happens Broadway is matched by a kill Greenwich. And now a Dorian put in an awkward spot here, getting slowed down. Beautiful slow and the shot to follow. I question Flick in the carry role, but the assassinations land all the same.
Yeah, and I mean, that's the kind of stuff I think that you're expecting to see on that lane. Flick hit, got the ultimate up just before Yamato has hit that 3K, that getting that ultimate up, and that's when you're looking to make your play before you have the ult available, but you have the confirmed kill on the assassinate, and so you just rotate over there, get a quick pick, and I mean, now that lane is in a much better spot than it was. It's evened up, whereas, you know, we saw Leffa originally taking a lot of pressure, but, you know, now Dorian has got to be a lot more careful because he knows that this is something that can happen.
And those of you just joining us, this is game 3. It's a run back from our Wednesday night showdown between Llama Lords and Hydra Nation. The only change, I think, is Naked took a step back from this squad, and Pure Content is filling in that support role here on the Dynamo. And this has been such an exciting series. We're in early times here for game 3, and unfortunately, early times don't matter for Vindicta, because your Vindicta is going to have 10 minutes worth of souls 6 minutes into the game if you keep allowing assists or assassinations like that to happen. And a Dorian, who is keeping the pressure on, is eventually getting punished for it.
Now Dorian is kind of starting to fall behind in money compared to a lot of the individual laners here. Hydra Nation have been aware that this Yamato needs to be addressed, and they have been addressing it thoroughly here. And now they're just putting pressure onto this York Tower right now with a few members, just making it really, really tough to deal. Looks like Llama Lords are going to be putting pressure on the other side. They have the Yamato and the Abrams over there. Lucky tried to respond, but by himself, he's going to just get forced back right there. So it looks like that Guardian's probably just going to go down. And, I mean, Hydra Nation is going to get that one for free, it looks like.
And it's the same scare that we saw in game 2, where Hydra Nation, they get themselves a small lead, then they start to feel comfortable, and they just continue to go from there. As Hydration, the head of the squad here, does get chased and taken down underneath the Guardian there. So punished for pushing a little too far forward, and that lead, it hasn't grown too out of hand, but it was just 6K in favor of Hydra Nation. Now chipped down in half to 3.
I see, Warden.
Uh-oh.
And now jumping in with this telekinesis. DMB is going to get a quick kill there on the Lord. The shoulder charge comes in. They're trying to find a punish. Young Calc. Oh, a parry comes out. A second parry comes out. Going to get the double stun. 3 members of Hydra Nation can be trying to... They're stuck in this little house. And it looks like it will be a disengage there. As Llama Lord's back out of that. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on. And the camera is like that, but now a Dorian coming in, looking to clean up the scraps. Young Calc back as well, going for the shoulder charge in. EMB going to teleport out of there. There's Lord with the Warden. Ult has the binding word. The last stand dealing so much damage, and Quig is gone. Dorian pretty low here. The Llama Lords will even up the trade as they have to put some pressure on here. There's Hydration coming around the backside, though, with this Lash. Dorian goes for the grapple, dealing a lot of damage in the shadow form. Is so low, but the charge from Young Calc, and Hydration is gone. Dorian's trying to get out of there. Leffa comes in with the Infernus. Loads of damage getting dumped into this Abrams right now, but so much damage taken as well. The Guardian falling down, and Dorian still going! Almost picks it up, but just can't quite find it. As Quig back just in time to bail out the carry.
And I'm wondering if that Crimson Slash didn't land right as the Dorian tried to find a kill onto Leffa, because it might have been enough to find the heal to stay in the fight. So Leffa is terrifying on anybody, and we saw Leffa make 2 entrances into those fights. The second one was followed by that concussive combustion and made it possible to find those kills. Big play there from Lord, however, right? A huge change up from the Viscous to the Warden, and played the role so beautifully, finding a way into the fight, pushing deep, getting heaps of damage and heaps of healing, tanking up the Guardian with that last stand. That was seeing Lord be the tip of the spear for that push from Llama Lords. That was really refreshing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And a young Calc as well got in there, got some really good shoulder charges that helped enable Dorian to, wreak the havoc that is wreaking. That's what you like to see out of these brawler characters, and working together, of course. It's going to be really nice. Looks like Hydra Nation able to trade off a Guardian there in that mid lane. As an urn is picked up here by young Calc. Still, of course, in the neutral side. To see if it's going to be a drop-off, or they're just trying to bait something. Saw a lot of baits from Hydra Nation last game, where they just used it to force Llama Lords into a position they didn't want. Looks like he's going to drop it here. Seismic impact around, trying to catch out DMB. He's going to be able to slip away barely. It's Lord coming in. They will be trading carries, it looks like. Leffa actually going down in that scuffle. Still 3 members of both sides waiting around this urn spot as it goes back to its spawn point.
And really no harm, no foul, unless Llama Lords can find something. But trading carry for carry, it feels all right. Leffa finding a kill there and then maybe escaping, going back, farming up some of the denizens, picking up the camps that are available, that would feel tough, because you've got a carry who is now getting ahead because they made good on a kill on your carry. But things still, even Steven between the 7 and the Infernus. Now, there are other carries to worry about, like DMB and even Vegas, who is on the Mirage this time around. But, all things said and done in that 1-for-1, that's as even as it gets with Leffa dying on the way out.
Yeah, and the urn's still up for grabs here, as it looks like. Paradox does have it. Pulling back, waiting for the rest of the team, it looks like, to show up. I think Llama Lords want to deposit this, but Hydra Nation is responded. They're all over here. There's not a lot of pressure on anywhere else on the map, other than maybe on that far purple lane. Doesn't look like they're going to get a good opportunity to be able to drop this in here. Leffa kind of by himself, though. Quig is there, but they're just waiting, trying to sneak it around. I don't think they see Quig there. We're just going to jump around. There's a Dorian now. They know where he is. We have the swap coming through. It's going to get Flick in the Frozen Fortress now. Quig just trying to dish out the damage. Flick is really low, though. Goes to fly up. Might be going down here. Goes for an assassinate. Trying to fly away. He's going to get cut down by the Yamato, though. The Singularity comes out from pure content. Takes a lot of damage, but they're going to pick up hydration as well. 7 was lost during that, but looks like they're going to force a Guardian after this. That's what trying to hold on, but it's not going to be enough. It's just Quig, and he's got to get out of there. There's going to be a Guardian and probably an urn drop. Well, the urn actually has decided to leave. But going to be a nice fight there for Llama Lords.
Yeah, that feels rough for Llama Lords there. They're 4v4 fighting for that urn spot and 2v2 across the map, and they lose the 2v2. So I guess because they won the 4v4 and got the Guardian, again, you walk away from that one even. The ultimate goal was to get that urn scored as well, and unfortunately they just weren't able to capitalize and do that after winning that 4v4. So, good on one side of the map, but they lose on the other side of the map, and things just go back to how they were. Now they'll try once more for the urn. This one maybe having a little bit more oomph, as Rokane is on the right side of the map, right? He's downtown Park right now, and Vegas is just teleported over. So everybody but Leffa is here, and this is free?
So Young Calc gonna get the deposit here, but Hydra Nation might try and make him pay for it. We see the seismic impact coming in, shoulder charge. There's the frozen shelter from Quig. Got a Dorian trapped in there too. They're not trapped in there with Llama Lord. Llama Lord's not trapped in there with them. They're trapped in there with Llama Lords. We see the Yamato getting popped here, trying to chase down Flick, going for the grapple under the walker. Doesn't quite have the damage to finish it off. Gonna have to back out of that one. The second go around, the earned drop gonna be much more successful with 2 picks as well coming out of that.
Yeah, but it's like game 1. It's exactly like we saw from game 1, but it's Hydra Nation playing for the structures versus playing for the fights. And now Young Calc looking to go defend and just gets absolutely blown up there. And with that, they might still lose the walker.
You have Lord trying to respond to DMB. Damage coming out from both sides at half, but DMB winning the DPS battle pretty handily here, pumping out cards. That's to reload, but a card's going to be enough to finish him off. Oh, and now Rokane trying to finally finish it up. But the damage is coming into the 7. They will get the stun off. The swap comes through. DMB is still alive. Trying to sneak through the wall, but just can't quite make it. And finally, they'll solve this Wraith problem, but that's exactly what it is a massive problem. 16k and capable of winning just about any duel. It took 3 people to show up with the ult on cooldown to be able to take down DMB there.
Yeah, it was the entire army. It was first Young Calc, then Lord, then they were like, okay, we got to throw the kitchen sink at this guy. And DMB still almost got one on the way out there in what was a 5 versus 1. I mean, the strength of the Wraith, but more importantly, DMB's comfortability. It's been 3 games in a row, not including any of the others played on the day that have been played on the Wraith there. And again, another situation where Llama Lords, they make good on a kill. That's a very high net worth priority target. And so you can see that they've got the soul lead headed their direction, all said and done. But it has not been the cleanest in way of making trades around the map. They were able to get the earn, and they mitigate that damage to just 1 walker for now. But look at the health bars of the walkers that remain for them, right? So incredibly low on Greenwich and Broadway. And it's about to get erased on York.
Yeah, now he's pushing hard here. They already used the frozen shelter on the walker. Try and preserve it for as long as possible here, but they're pushing pretty hard. Walker will be going down here. We hear the death slam coming in from Hydration. Not sure where that landed them, but Llama Lord's getting forced back and trying to get out of there before a real big fight breaks out. You're just going back to its spot. Been used very consistently to just like force fights at walkers and stuff. And now it's Hydra Nation who are actually picking up, and maybe their turn to make something happen.
Yeah, a game so close, you really do have to respond to this unless you can get something on the opposite side of the map. And now that there's no response, I would imagine Llama Lords look to stay here and fight for this one. DMB's got the urn in hand. We'll set it down for a moment, and we'll see what they can find. Kinetic Carbine misses, but Young Calc is here.
Yeah, Tornado, and now Young Calc going down very quickly there as well. The Dynamo getting blown up. Flick just pumping out damage in the sky right there where you see the combos come in. There's the Yamato ult, the Shadow Form. Jumping in, Dorian is looking to dish out the damage right now. Is so low, though, the team gunning him down. The resistances are not enough. Hydration, very well coordinated in that fight. They took out the Dynamo early on as well as Young Calc, and those are some big buttons that you lose as Llama Lords. The Singularity was up, and they wanted to use it, but it all just kind of fell apart from there.
And it's a mid-boss play. We've seen things get weird at the mid-boss. We'll see if they're there in time, though. Rokane's going to be the first one to step up to this.
They're coming. They are coming. Lord is here as well. There's the ult. The last stand was in the frozen shelter. Buying time. They're DPSing down Lord. They want to kill him before they get this thing. It's open for anyone. The Singularity comes in. It gets everyone. It gets everyone. Llama Lord steal it yet again. Another insane mid-boss play. And they're going to try and get out of there. They got 3 kills during that fight. A huge turnaround. They only lost Lord for that. Pure content. The timing. If they had used the singularity in that previous fight, they wouldn't have been able to do that. So it all worked out. That's insane.
Wow, again, it's Hydra Nation just not respecting that Llama Lords are going to try to make that play. That is heartbreaking to watch again, but we know that this isn't the end. We've seen steals before. We've seen 3 of them in this series thus far, and it is just going to be a shrine as they work their way out of this one, but the base opened up quite a bit, and now Llama Lords, the game has been even for so long, but for the next few minutes, they can afford to make a mistake. They can afford to get blown up at the beginning of these fights like Young Calc and Pure Content did in the previous one. Because they have this Rejuvenator, it's also going to alleviate some of the lane pressure that Hydra Nation are now going to try and put back on them as all 4 lanes push uptown.
Yeah, just taking the opportunity now just to basically clear out Hydra Nation's jungle here. And just try and bring back the little bit of soul deficit that they still have. Is not much, but it's pretty much dead even now. And I mean, Llama Lord's in a really good spot. Buffs coming up as well as the urn. It's going to be the next thing. Everyone's going to be playing around again. No walkers left on the map. It is basically shrine time at this point. And with how dead even it is, these teams are going to be looking to team fight. They're going to be looking to force that fight. And it looks like it's Young Calc who's actually picking up that urn. Which means it's not time to deliver the urn. It means it's time to fight.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been a neutral urn the entire game. That's how close we've been. So we'll see if this one is allowed for free. Young Calc. Yeah, just scooting across the map there. No response out from Hydra Nation. I mean, I guess they just can't afford to, right? Look at the lanes. Lanes being even for the team that, you know, is behind when it comes to what play is happening, those are losing lanes, right? So Hydra Nation, they can't afford to send anybody to the left side of the map to try and stop the urn because they have to deal with the right side of the map, as well as the already pushing left side. Is Lucky looking to get maybe a little lucky on this one? No way, just the wrong neighborhood there for Sizz Lucky.
Young Calc jumping, and the Death Slam though coming out. There's the singularity. Actually pulled Lash out of the sky. Pure content. Got another one. Has the refresher. Gets 3 of them. That's Quig gone. That's DMB gone. 3 are down for the side of Hydra Nation. Pure content. No one knew that he had refresher, but he got it so early, and now it's going to be the second shrine gone. Another flex slot opened up. They might just go for the patron here. Get the transformation off as well. We're seeing a lot of the Guardians fall here. The base from Hydra Nation getting absolutely ravaged. An incredible play from Llama Lords. The Paradox was bait, and the Dynamo just took over.
And now they are going for that finish here, right? Still waiting on the reset. We're hoping to get one more kill, quite possibly. But now everybody's coming on back, and Adorian's going to stay alive. Adorian pops the ultimate shots on the patron. Out comes the telekinesis. 0 gravity inside the pit, and Llama Lords are trying to get it done, and they have done just that.
Huge there. We see Lord, the most damage in the game, but I think we got to give it to Pure Content. Yeah. Those singularities involved in every big play that game, from the mid-boss steal to that final fight. The Dynamo of the week right there.
100%. I mean, that is as good.